And the reason I feel like the Two of Wands comes out after these two cards here is like we have enlightenment, the Queen of Chalices, her patience, and now it's time to come to the table. What's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well. It's Thursday. The weekend's right around the corner. So for those of you who are on the grind with work and you have the weekends off, we are hanging in there with you, and it'll soon come, okay? I wanted to start off by thanking you guys for just being here with me. Thanks for your support, for your comments about asking about my wrist. It's doing a lot better. My mom has made sure to tuck me under her wing and rub me down with essential oils. You know, I've got some frankincense, some helichrysum, some wintergreen, all of that mixed into a beautiful blend. And my mom and my sister have been helping me with just some advice on how to self-care and get my wrist to feeling back to normal. So I just want to say thank you guys, because I feel like your love and your concern, it adds healing as well. So thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, I just want to welcome you. There's been a lot of new subscribers lately, and I just want to thank you guys for hopping on board with us. And I want to remind you again, the community is awesome. Like, we've got a bunch of people in here that are incredibly experienced on this journey and can really share some insights and knowledge. And those of you who do reach out regularly to jump out and support other subscribers when they do need it, I just want to thank you guys. So with that being said, I wanted to share a reading with you guys. I've chosen these specific decks because lately we've been feeling into the masculine energies, and when I read, I find myself talking to the divine feminines as the masculines, or giving the masculines advice about the feminines, which is a little bit new. Like, usually we kind of dig into the masculine energies, and I know that many of the feminines are tuned in, but I find that lately, since we've switched up the style, that there's a lot more masculines, you know, hopping on board in the comment sections and things like that to just understand what this journey is about, or just express themselves in a way that they feel safe to do without, you know, getting the maybe passive aggressive behavior or the ghosting or the running from the feminine. I feel like many of the masculines are tuning into our community, whether they're commenting or not. And they're just viewing the videos. I think that they're also feeling safe enough to express themselves, even if it's just like through that ego self. That comes from like the support that you guys are giving out and letting them know it's okay to feel wounded and act aggressively or act from a place of hurt, because, you know, we are all going through this process together. So yeah, I'm feeling really grateful for you guys as a community. And yeah, again, thank you. I love you guys. So let's go ahead here and dig into the Tarot of Sexual Magic, because I've been picking up on a lot of song synchronicities that I've heard very early on in my connection. And when I hear these songs again, I'm like, okay, you know what? The masculines are needing support. Again, these readings, guys, they're just meant to be general guidance for what it is we might be experiencing on this twin flame journey. You have the power to make decisions that affect your own lives, and these are just general insights, okay? You guys have the power to create your own destiny. So I'm going to dig into the cards here with the Tarot of Sexual Magic, because I really felt this longing of like not being able to forget the feminine. Just like, you know, like, okay, I'll just express it to you guys, because I'm like a year into this channel now and I feel so comfortable with you guys. So I'm just going to say it how I feel it. So like, from the masculine's perspective, like, you know, he's, let's say, sitting down on his bed and he's sitting there looking at your social media photos, thinking about how you guys have been in separation for so long. You haven't reached out. It's unlike you to reach out. And he's trying his best to understand why it is you haven't reached out, or why it is you wouldn't reach out. And he's there kind of like upset with you at this time, because he's like, yo, like, you honestly think that I can get you off my mind? You're gonna go silent? You're done? You're fed up? Like, how do you think I feel? How do you think I feel loving you like this every single second of the day, knowing that I can't do anything about it? You haven't separated from your husband. You haven't gotten a divorce. You're wanting to take things slow, and I don't want to take things slow. I just want to be with you. So they're going through this kind of like phase of feeling like life is unfair. Like, I just want you. I'm never going to forget you. I don't know why this is happening. And it's like they're alone in their man cave or castle or, den, whatever you want to refer to it as. And they're just expressing all of these feelings to the universe. That's why a lot of them are silent right now. They're silent because they're literally like practicing everything that they want to say to you when they are able to get in contact with you again. That's why many of you are feeling like the density, right? It's like you're feeling the tension, the longing, but you're also feeling frustrated from your own energy because you're like, then why the hell isn't he reaching out then to talk to me? He doesn't want to tell you all these things, Divine Feminine, and he feels way too vulnerable. He has to deal with himself and these emotions first before he can even speak about them to you. He has to say it out loud. He has to say what he's feeling and not just think it, put it into words and actually admit you're feeling like this. You're longing for her. You're like, what the hell? Like, I'm feeling you so strongly, and now the energy I get, I'm trying to sniff you out and feel you out to see if I can reach out, and I'm getting nothing, He's seeing you, or feeling like he's seeing you doing your own thing, and it's a little triggering for him at this time. So, okay, let's just go ahead and see what these cards say before I lose my train of thought. Okay, yeah, so there's that obsessive energy. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nines are all about enlightenment, and he knows that he's desperately trying his best to grasp the fact that it's like, okay, you know what? I did things to push her away. It's like, let's just talk about that, Divine Masculine. You did things to push her away. And that's what you wanted, and that's what she gave to you. You thought that she would be the one to push back and chase after you in the way that you're used to, but it's like, that's what drives you crazy. Like, that's why you're in this obsessive energy and wanting to hold on in this obsessive way. But just like the feminine is having to learn at this time, you're mirroring her energy by having to let go. Like, just let go right now and wait until she is feeling your presence again. And what that's going to take is you guys sitting still and actually following through with being in your man cave and meditating and actually like paying attention to your feelings rather than trying to numb them with you guys know what, whether that, be the gambling, the drugs, the sex, like whatever it is, masculines, like instead of doing that stuff, you're feeling the pain because you're having to now sit there and deal with your emotions. And it's like you're afraid that she's going to leave because now that she's actually enjoying herself, just like you were, just not with vices, she's enjoying nature and conversations and, soulmate attraction, flirting. She's just getting back into her feels again. So, like, just let her do her thing. Let her get back to being sexy, single, free, like, she was doing before you came into her reality. I mean, she had to witness you doing some crazy shit, But still, even while witnessing that and she felt the pain, she was like, Durga, brah. Like, she was like, okay, you wanna do what you want to do. I will feel the pain and I will be in my Queen of Swords energy, hence Durga's weapons. And she, mustered up the courage and strength to sit on that whole energy of you being very beast-like here and just conquer you. A lot of Durga's weapons represents a lot of aspects of her consciousness that we're able to take control over. And Durga and Mother Kali are one and the same. It's almost like Kali is like the darker aspects, like the I don't care, like let out her rage, her frustration, her anger, and then ask questions later. But Durga is more of like that energy that says, okay, I will conquer you with my grace, kind of thing. And so that's why the 9 is coming up with the enlightenment, because of the divine feminine's grace on this journey. So it's like all she's had to do is lay back, and it's like he is in a period now of just wanting like a piece of her hair to remember her by. But it's like she's not going anywhere, divine masculines. She's actually lifting up the kundalini energy within you. And the kundalini energy, guys, once it rises within us, we can feel like a wild animal, like a wolf howling at the moon. Like it feels very like obsessive. And that's what I get from the divine masculines right now. And many of you are feeling it. Like the song synchronicities are hitting you guys. Many of you are starting to think about like the beginning of your connection, because the divine feminines are tapping into your masculine thoughts. Divine masculines, like they can sense what you guys are thinking about. They're getting the same synchronicities, and what the universe is trying to show them is like, this is what he's thinking about right now. This is what he's going through. So oftentimes that's when the divine feminine knows to just like relax and lay back, right? It's like, don't agitate the flames and the fire. Like just lay back and you know, something else I just got here is like through this obsession too, he might be trying to cut the cord. And that's why the divine feminines are laying back, because it's like now is a period of letting him know that there's no cutting the cord, even when we aren't there in your life. That's why many of you are like wanting to reach out, but you can't because you're in your Queen of Chalices energy. Like you've mastered your emotions. So you're in a space of helping him through this by being in your Queen of Chalices or Queen of Cups energy. It's almost like you're like, okay, listen, I get it. I've been there and it's okay. Like you're soothing him in this card here. And see how he's reaching for the cup, because that is really, you know, what fills his cup here. It's like his hand is right near it here. All he has to do is kind of like reach for it, take a sip from it. And I feel like it's like he's so vulnerable in this card. I think it maybe came up in the last reading too, so you guys can really see how the energies are still really like lingering in the air, right? Giving us that confirmation of this transformation that they're going through. So, you know, the divine feminines are being so patient on this journey with the masculines. It's, you guys have gone through so much, but it's taught you about like walking away and letting go more than anything else. And I think that's why like there's fall leaves in the background here, because you guys understand the importance now of just like letting go when things aren't going smoothly, and understanding like it's not my load to carry, it's the divine masculines. I'm just going to step back here because I know how to take care of myself. So yeah, we have the Two of Wands. So the coming together of this passion here. And the reason I feel like the Two of Wands comes out after these two cards here is like we have enlightenment, the Queen of Chalices, her patience, and now it's time to come to the table. And he knows this very much. He knows it's time to compromise. That's why his hands are in that position trying to explain, and she's just smitten by it. She's like, oh, it's so cute that he's trying to explain where he's been, because with her like touching him and caressing him, she's like, oh, babe, I know what you've been going through. But it's just still fascinating to hear him, you know, walk away from a lot of the 3D behaviors and actually have him sit down with her and say, listen, I'm not going anywhere. I can't, baby, like I can't go nowhere. That's what I hear him saying in this card here. And she's just like, I was just waiting. I was just waiting for you to feel that. Ooh, so cute. I feel like the way the masculine sees the feminine is like such a precious little kitten. You know what I mean? Like the way, do you guys remember the few videos ago where Mega was like loving me up and her head was on my chest? Like I feel like the way I was like holding her in my arms is like such a kitty. Like I feel like your divine masculines want to just like hold you like that, you know? It's like just really nurture you. And it doesn't matter like what your dynamic is, whether you feel like you have got the more masculine charge or the more feminine charge, like, you know, the masculine energy, like despite the bodies that you guys are in, they just want to like take care of you guys. Like I feel like the taking care of you guys comes from the divine masculines understanding that they can be balanced and they can be everything by realizing that, you know, the true essence of the divine masculine energy is being, you know, strong, assertive, being the doer, knowing how to fertilize things. But at the same time, you still know how to be nurturing by being protective and being loving, right? And I think that there's some of you in connections where it's like you really feel that from your masculines. It's like that fathering energy. You know, we talk so much about the divine feminines nurturing and mothering. The divine masculines, when they get into their nurturing energies, it's like that cool, awesome dad that's just like, oh my God. But in this very loving and protective way. Like, he'll make you laugh, but at the same time feel so safe and feel nurtured and feel protected. So that's why I feel like they're coming to the table here now, because it's like they're overcoming so much by feeling out the divine feminine for who she is when she's just not around. They're holding on to old memories, old conversations, and you know, it's like the universe saying to them, yes, like, yes, these are the things that you're supposed to be sitting there with and actually thinking about. And what I get to is like it's healing him from a lot of the painful memories that are also coming up from like past relationships, not even with the divine feminine, but just like past experiences, and then seeing the difference between how him and the feminine coexist together or just, you know, interact with each other. It's like, where has she been all my life? You know, where has this energy been all my life? Even when I was a kid, you know, he would have loved to have you as like a best friend or the girl in class that he had a crush on kind of thing, you know? So yeah, I think that's really sweet. I love the representation of the Tarot of Sexual Magic as to what it is he's going through, you know, in his heart space or in that like Wands energy of just like really feeling this connection, like getting emotional about it kind of thing. So I'm going to use this deck and I'm going to send you guys a special message from the Divine Masculines to let you know what he's working on in the physical world, okay? Because we had the Nine of Pentacles coming up in the Tarot of Sexual Magic, which talks about enlightenment and a lot of like nearing completion in the physical world. So what's he working on? So the Rabbit. So it's funny today because me and my son were talking about the Franklin episode, and for some reason he was caught up on Rabbit being nicknamed Springer. I don't know if you guys have like kids at home or toddlers, but you know Franklin the turtle? Well, there was this episode where they were giving each other nicknames and they gave Rabbit the nickname Springer because he could jump so high. And so I feel like the Divine Masculines are working on this energy of like, be patient before you take that leap into coming forward to her. So again, doing his very best to get over this energy, the Divine Feminine's patience here with the Queen of Chalices, knowing and understanding that this possession, jealousy, you know, rise within him is just him trying to balance that Kundalini energy. But once he balances it, he gets into this energy of being like that little boy again, surrendering to the nurturing feeling, and then coming to this state of compromising. And then once he gets to this place, guys, like I feel like the Rabbit represents like this very like earthly presence of just getting things done very quickly, you know, like gathering, preparing, and you know, getting the sexual drive to do it as well from the feminine. Like what I get from this card is trying to put things in place very, very quickly in the physical world so that he can make love to you. He can control this aggression and possession and passion right now, but once he balances it, it's going to be very, very intense with the chemistry. Like I just get a sexual energy with the Rabbit being here, but also someone working very quickly to get things done before they make that final move. What does the universe have to say about that, Divine Masculines? Like what does the universe want to push you towards when we talk about you springing into action, I guess? Okay, so we have the Guilt card here coming up. So releasing any beliefs that it doesn't really assist your soul's growth. So with the energy of springing into action and being very sexual with her, yes, you both are still experiencing very unique situations where you guys might be married, you guys might be in certain connections, maybe you guys have certain soul contracts where on the earthly plane it might seem like, oh God, I can't do that, I'm gonna, you know, break some kind of rule or break some kind of, you know, many of you are coming into the realizations of understanding that it's important to follow your heart space, but releasing guilt because you're realizing also that you're doing this from a place of transparency. Approaching your twin flame connection, no matter what your circumstances are, from a place of truth and honesty will help you get rid of this guilty feeling. Many of you have asked me on my journey as well, it's like being married and having a twin flame, having a family. Honesty and transparency is what has gotten me, I feel like, so far on this journey, and just not being afraid of what it is I felt in my heart, which was happiness. Like, I can't help meeting this person, right? And there's so many of us on the journey that are feeling the same way. It's like you step onto this path and you don't exactly know what it is or why it's happening, but you can't really explain the bliss and the draw and the magnetism to this person. You just know that it brings you a lot of happiness despite the bumps in the road. Many of the messages and the beautiful things that are happening in your lives, it just makes you happy, and you shouldn't have to explain that to everybody. Like, as long as you can explain what's going on to you, like as long as you can put it on the table and say, okay, you know what? This is what I'm feeling. This is what I want. I'm going to go for it. You guys will experience the end goal of, the happiness here. And I love that the dolphins are in this card as well, for a very, very special reason, just within my own connection, because I really feel like the masculines are starting to realize this now. Like, they're letting go of the energy of guilt because they realize, like, maybe for many of them, that's the only thing that's standing in the way of stepping towards their divine feminines. It's like feeling like this connection is somehow wrong, when really and truly at the end of the day, if it makes you happy, it's not wrong. If you feel in love, it's not wrong. So you shouldn't have to feel guilt about what you authentically feel. And that's really the driving force about what's pushing them to make changes in their physical world right now, right? It's like, do I choose other people's opinions and happiness? Or do I choose my own happiness and my own well-being? And when they choose their own happiness and their own well-being, they just want to celebrate with the divine feminine. Because I feel like, that's the only place that they can really be genuine and authentic and truthful. And for many of them too, like, to end off this reading, I feel like they're asking themselves, like, I only have so many years left on this planet. Like, what am I doing? I might as well go towards what makes me feel good, right? So yeah, I think that's wild, beautiful energy coming from the masculine collective. I hope that it gives the divine feminine some perspective as well, because again, lately I've been feeling this huge push from their energy to be like, please explain to her before she goes. Little do they know we're not going anywhere. Like, we can't. It's just, this is the period of transforming, their realities right now, getting them more in touch with their higher selves versus the 3D self that has been, molded and conditioned by others. It's like getting them to recognize their own self again and seeing for themselves what it is they want. I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm going to end it here. I love you guys so much. And they just send you so much love, divine feminines. You guys have no idea how crazy they are going right now, and just this feeling of longing for you, okay? I'll post a couple of song syncs in the cards throughout the video so you guys can see what I mean. If you don't want to listen to the song, just read the lyrics, okay? I love you guys. Take care. And subscribe if you're guided to, and hit me up on wizio.com for a personal session. If this video resonates, you could tell I'm on the Wizio tip. But yeah, if this reading resonates with you and you're just looking to speak with someone who you can open up to without shame or fear, I'm here for you guys, okay? Take care, and I'll catch up with you in the next video, okay? Bye, guys.